so elimination diet, and then you reintroduce to see what's available, and you're obviously reintroducing whole actual foods, not the
Yes.
processed garbage, which so many of us
Yes.
subsist on. What about during the like, does everybody just start cold turkey? Like, hey, today you're eating garbage, and tomorrow you're strict carnivore. Or do they transition down, or how do you approach it? How do you approach that?
So I think it's pretty filtered out because I only work with very serious entrepreneurs or businessmen, and maybe they're at a point in their life where they can really see that they need to do something, they need to change something, and maybe that's why they're so motivated to just doing cold turkey and just starting from like literally just starting carnivore. But I have like some of my friends, I tell them to go into it easily because they're not necessarily as motivated to do it. And they don't have the same issue. They don't want to perform in the same way as some of these top businessmen wants to. But then obviously you have to, gradually get them into the carnivore diet and then take things back after that when they see results.
Well, yeah, it's interesting because when we talk about, a lot of people, we associate this with, health issues, some people, physical improvements. But when we talk about business performance and cognitive performance, how are you seeing it impact the folks you're working with? Because you said they're business people; they want to perform well in their particular vocation or their career. How is that impacting them?
I mean, it's literally their day-to-day lives. Instead of having those sugar crashes during midday, they can just keep on going. They don't have the ups and downs of their blood sugar. They don't have the ups and downs of the insulin. They're literally very stable. And it just stabilizes their mood, stabilizes their energy levels, and just helps them get more stuff done because they're not dependent on their body and they're not depending on being happy and motivated. They have the baseline of energy and they just work from there.
In Denmark, what is the situation as far as the ease or the ability to do a carnivore diet I know that certainly we're seeing some areas in that part of the world, some of the Scandinavian countries, and then, kind of where you are, there's sort of a push to maybe go plant-based or something like that. Is it challenging to do this diet where you're at?
Do you mean logistically challenging, or?
Yeah, I mean, is it financially feasible? Is it, because sometimes, I don't know the situation there for sure, but I'm just kind of wondering if it might be.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's not cheap to eat only meat. But I always recommend you could always eat ground beef because that's just the cheapest cut to get. You don't have to eat ribeyes and fillets every single day. So ground beef is cheaper, but it's not cheap. Mm-hmm. It's always cheaper to get processed foods. The garbage that you're trying to sell. So it's logistically possible, but obviously it's not possible for everyone to do it at this moment, especially because they don't want to do it. They're just pushing all the vegan and the processed food so much and making it cheaper and cheaper. So people don't want to, because people look at calories, right? They don't really look at the impact of what those calories are when they come from carbs, for example, and processed foods. So they say, okay, well, I can get 100 calories for $2, or I can get 100 calories for $10 if I eat meat. And then they fill themselves up with garbage. So it's not hard. Obviously, you can get meat everywhere, but it's definitely more expensive.
Yeah, because you mentioned beef, and a lot of us, prefer beef. I mean, that's what I prefer. If you give me, 9 times out of 10, probably 99 times out of 100, to be honest, I'll pick beef over anything else. Is that in Denmark? I mean, obviously, there's a lot of coastal regions there. Seafood, a big player. It's lamb. I don't know, pork. What's the prevailing sort of meat sources there?
Yeah, we have a lot of beef, and we have a big tradition of eating a lot of pork as well during holidays. But a lot of people eat pork. A lot of people eat beef, and not fish that much. Fish is more in Norway, up north in Scandinavia. They eat a lot of salmon, for example. But we don't eat that much fish here. We just don't have we just don't get the amount of fish that, it's just easier to get beef, and we don't need that much lamb either.
And I mean, are you getting it from next door in Netherlands, or I mean, because I know they're recently under pressure to cut back on their beef production just to meet nitrogen fertilizer issues apparently is what's going on. Is that impacting what's your access there? Is that where you get a lot of it from?
No, it's actually okay. It's not really impacting it. Beef prices went up. I think that they did the same in the US a couple of months back, but now they're back down again. Not the same levels, but a bit down. We get most of our beef from locally here in Denmark and from Ireland, and then we get fish mainly from Norway.
I see. And as far as just your personal diet, what does that look like for you? Are you eating, I don't know, a kilo a day, or what's that look like?
Yeah, I'm actually eating a kilo a day. I'm eating a kilo a day, and because I'm trying to put on some more muscle, I've added some rice as well, just to keep the hunger flowing, so I can stay hungry and eat more. But yeah, I definitely eat 1 kilo a day, and sometimes 1.5 kilos of red meat a day. Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at baseline. Sometimes 2 kilos. Sometimes more, depending.
Yeah.
And because you mentioned the rice, and it's interesting because one of the, there's a recent meta-analysis on the ability to put on muscle with low carb and high carb diets, and basically the literature supports that you can do equally well with either. The one caveat is that carbohydrates do tend to stimulate the appetite more, and so it's just a matter of getting enough calories in, and that's where people struggle at, is they just can't eat enough before they get too full on a meat-based diet. That's why it's been so effective at weight loss for a lot of people. But, if you power through, you can do it. But it's like I said, it's cheaper and easier to just put in the carbohydrates if you can tolerate them. And some people do, some people don't.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I do. I eat a bit of rice to just stimulate that hunger even more, to get in more meat. Because I eat like 99% meat, nothing else. Mm-hmm. So I just get some rice to stimulate that hunger feeling. And I don't know if you're 100% carnivore, right? You don't eat any carbs.
Yeah, every once in a while, but not, basically every day is basically steak, sometimes eggs. Right now I'm eating a lot of eggs, but yeah, like on a birthday party, I'll have something like a piece of cake every once in a while, but not, I'm not regularly including fruit or honey or rice or anything like that. That's pretty much never makes it in my diet.
Yeah. Yes, I eat a kilo of meat, and then I eat a lot of eggs. When I'm home, I tend to eat 10 eggs a day because it's just easier to get that in for lunch, for example. When I'm at the hospital, I don't take food with me. We have a buffet, and it's okay. So I tend to eat whatever meat they have at the buffet at the hospital, and then 6 or 7 cooked eggs as well.
I don't know how it was. I know when I would go to the hospital cafeteria and sit down and I'd eat whatever, a bunch of eggs and bacon and hamburger patty, people would look at me and go, "What the hell are you doing, Dr. Baker?" Are you getting some of that? Are you getting people coming up to you saying, looking at you, what's going on, man? Don't you know any better? That's all that saturated fat's going to kill you. You seeing that?
Every single day, Shawn, every single day. And so because I started doing this as a medical student, right? And I think you can imagine how the older doctors looked at me, and they were like, "Wow, your kidneys are just screaming right now." And I'll be like, "Yeah, no, they're not. Don't worry about my kidneys. They're fine." And even to this day, like every single day now, my colleagues have gotten used to it, so they don't really comment it anymore. It's only if we get new doctors or new colleagues, or some of the nurses that I haven't met before, they see it, they comment on it, but it's not. It's definitely one of the first things people tell me when we sit and eat lunch is like, "Wow, first of all, you eat a lot, and second of all, that's a lot of meat and a lot of eggs." So, yeah, and they come with small hints like, "Oh, you're gonna get put on the ground," like stuff like that. And I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry. Look at my physique and look at yours."